Okay, guys, so we are live for the DCTV show episode 20. We hit episode 20, which is very, very exciting. I've had some trouble with YouTube today, so that is why we are starting a bit later. Apparently, some of the channels, like basically all the channels on YouTube, weren't loading, and my channel wasn't loading, so I was like, oh, I don't know, and I still don't know if it's working, but we're going to give it a shot, and hopefully some of you guys join in for the live stream. And yeah, so welcome to the live stream. If you are joining us live, I have the chat over here. So we're going to go ahead and, start reading some of your questions and everything that we're going to be talking about. We got a bunch of topics, and yeah, we're just going to get through that. But yeah, something is wrong with YouTube. That is a big thing right now. That's why we literally just started, and I don't know how many people are going to join. So maybe it's going to be a failure, but hopefully we get a decent amount of people in. That would be really nice, because I always love getting all of your guys' insight into all of the shows. Sorry, I'm just moving this around right now. But yeah, so we have a bunch of topics to go through in today's video in the stream, which is Superman Lois. Obviously, like that is the big thing that we need to talk about. So, I mean, I'm really excited to talk about it with you guys. I'm sure you guys have like a bunch of things to talk about in regards to Superman Lois and its premiere. We also got some kind of new news. We got the Flash premiere. It's premiering next week. That's super exciting. And then Supergirl maybe has been delayed again. So yeah, we'll talk about that. And also Stargirl dropped a trailer. So yeah, that is what we're going to be talking about today. Remember, if you want to send in any questions, please be sure, if you want them to be answered straight away, send them in via super chat. How do you send them in via super chat? Well, I'll show you guys how to send them in. I'm going to share my screen and pull up my application window for you guys. I'll just do this once, and then I'm sure you guys can get the hang of it. Oh my god, look at me. All right, so you just click this button, you click super chat, and you can send in a Gary question or whatever you want. But if you want it to be answered straight away, on topic is good, or it can be completely off topic, and you can send in any question like, is Supergirl getting delayed? You can totally do that. However little or small you want, super chat questions will be answered straight away. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the main topic number one. And main topic number one is Superman and Lois. Super excited, and welcome to everyone who's joining. We got Strive for Greatness, Jason Range, Micah, Rachel, Sarah's here. Jamie Harley is here, a member of the channel. If you guys want to become members, you can get cool icons like Jamie in the chat. And Flashverse is here. Oh, thanks, Flashverse. But yeah, so Superman Lois. Let me know, what did you think of Superman Lois? Send it in the chat right now. I want to hear all your thoughts. I'm going to read them out, and we can freak out, because I really liked the premiere. I thought it was very good, and I had a very good time with it. I thought it was a very solid premiere. I don't think it's my favorite premiere ever. Like, it's not as good as The Flash or Supergirl for me. Like, I really love those episodes, and I go back sometimes and watch those episodes. So maybe Superman Lois will be like that soon. But for now, I really liked it. And so let's see what some people were saying in the chat. Flash First says, it was insane. Rachel says, can't wait for Supergirl trailer. I guess that's a bit off topic, but we'll get to that, Rachel. Zara liked it. Bean is here. Hey, bestie. Welcome, Bean. And then, yeah, so it seems like everyone is saying it was amazing. In the Game says it was awesome. Beast Boy says, and so beautiful. Jamie says, I love the cinematography. It has a Man of Steel vibe mixed with Smallville. Yeah, it does. I think it's a bit less Man of Steel and more, I don't know, it's a bit different. Man of Steel is a lot of like very shaky handheld stuff. And yeah, so lots of people enjoying it. Keep on chiming in your thoughts and opinions about Superman and Lois. I'm going to quickly go over the few bullet points I got up here. So the classic suit. Now, it's very rare that we get to a premiere or an episode and something surprises us, especially for people like me, especially for people like you guys who stay in the loop about all of this stuff. It's very rare that we don't go without like knowing something, like even like a behind the scenes leak. We don't even need to see the suit or something, but like this was not even talked about. And so that's what made it all the more exciting. And I'm very good, Vera. I'm very good. But yeah, that's what made it all the more exciting, because I had no idea what was coming. And then it popped up out of nowhere. And I was like, what? Superman's wearing his classic suit. And then they did the whole cover. I forgot what Action Comics cover it was, but where he holds up the green car. And then he has this brilliant moment where he goes over to the kid and he's like, my mom made my suit. And then he flies off into the air and the kid's like, wow, it's so cool. But yeah, so yeah, keep on chiming in your thoughts on Superman Lois. You can send them in via the normal chat or via super chat if you want it instantly answered. Paige Bell is here. Welcome, Paige, a member of the channel. And as you can tell, the members, month by month, you get a different icon. So now Paige has got Mon-El, Jamie has got the Flash, so changes. Paigey is here in the live stream, and Paigey says, Ben, there is a spider on your wall behind you. It's really big. Wow, so big. I don't see it, Paigey. I'm sorry. Yeah, where is Gary? I have no idea, but is Superman Lois an Arrowverse show yet? Please answer, Ben. Yes, it is an Arrowverse show, and yes, it's part of the Arrowverse, although they did retcon some stuff. I think they're just taking some liberties whilst they start the show, and then I think it's going to get a bit more linked up when they, cross over. Yeah, you got a Mon-El one. If you look on the thing, so it changes month by month. Let's see what some people were saying about Superman and Lois. Ben, do you think in the new year Superman and Lois will have a episode with the crossover? Not 100% sure on that. It all depends on restrictions. Being said, Homie, the shot was a homage to the cover of Action Comics #1. Yeah, that was it. Action Comics #1. So the OG. But yeah, that moment with the classic Superman suit was just so good, and I loved it. Eric Wallace said Flash isn't showing up on Supergirl's finale. L. Where did you get that, Paige? Where did you get that? I want confirmation. I haven't seen that. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Superman and Lois. I just thought it was a really, really solid, really solid episode, and there was a lot of exciting stuff that went on. Good setup with the new version of Lex Luthor, which was really cool. And it kind of set up that whole mystery, and it also set up like kind of Lois's villain as well, who is Morgan Edge, and there's obviously a lot that they can do, and maybe at one point they're gonna sort of cross those people, those villains over. One sec. So yeah, just keep on sending your opinions in the chat, and we'll get to them. Okay. All right, let's scroll up. So Jamie says, did you read the article I sent you? And there was a reference to Firestorm in the episode. Oh, no, I haven't got around to reading that article, Jamie, but I was intending to do that. I didn't see the Firestorm reference, but maybe soon. That nuclear power, Paige says that nuclear power station meltdown with the ice was like the Reeve opening when he freezes the lake and drops it. Yeah, it kind of was a little bit. That's a good catch right there. Yeah, so on the scale of 1 to 10, someone asked, scale of 1 to 10 for a premiere, I feel like it was like a solid like 8 or 8.5 or something. Like, it was really good. Even though maybe it's not my favorite premiere ever, but still, it was pretty good. Yeah. So at the end of the episode, oh shit. At the end of the episode, that was Lex Luthor. There was an alternate version of Lex that probably came from After Crisis. It's actually been confirmed by Todd Helbing, the showrunner of the show, that in fact was an alternate version of Lex. So that's awesome, and I can't wait to see like the exploration. And I think it's really cool how like they were, nemesises for before, but we haven't seen that. And then this version of Lex somehow ends up on Earth Prime, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go after this new Superman, and I can't wait to see how that kind of turns out. But yeah, and so the general dude is Lois's father. Yeah, that's correct. Why didn't you prefer? Bean says, spit it out, Ben. What didn't you like specifically from the premiere? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really, really liked everything, but if I'm comparing it to like the Flash or Supergirl, I don't know. I guess I always have had like a preference for those characters because they're like my favorite DC characters. And I just, obviously I got the thing where I love the show and I've been watching it for years, so I can look back upon it fondly. And maybe, once Superman and Lois gets like a season through, maybe I'll be like, oh, this pilot's like, it was like the best thing ever, So I don't know. Maybe I'll get to that point soon. We'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, I loved it, and I don't have any problems with it. I think my only problem might be it felt a bit, I don't know, sometimes with what's his name? Jonathan. He seemed a bit stereotypically American, and the kind of jock thing. I don't know if that's totally my thing, but that is very CW. So I guess that's my only thing, but I let it slide because it is a CW after all, and they do like the kind of drama. Yes, in the games, I'm going to get through to all the questions, but considering we have a lot of people and the chat is going fast, it's hard to actually go back, and I have to scroll all the way up, and I have to pause, and I'll get to all the questions, but yeah, I'm going to get to that. But for now, let's go ahead and answer Paige's super chat. So thank you so much, Paige, for sending in the $2.99 super chat. And Paige says, do you think we will get Superman and Lois over here? Missed it. So yeah, I think it's going to come over to the UK soon. I'm not sure what specific day is going to come out, but it's probably going to come out on Sky, unless because of the new kind of deals with HBO Max, maybe they put it out somewhere else. But normally the Arrowverse shows come out on like Sky or something, like a week later, I think. So I don't know. Sorry, I can't completely answer that because I don't think there is one definitive thing right now, Paige. But we should know pretty soon. Eric, I've seen that the scoop for Supergirl. I was sent that, and at the end of the article, they say that Supergirl is coming out in June, but that hasn't been confirmed. That is just a rumor. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But also that is to do with the Supergirl comic, which is exciting. I really hope that's true. But thank you so much for the super chat, Paige, and thank you to all of you who are sending in and just sending in your questions. And I'm going to try and get through to all of them, even though I have like topics. So we'll get through to them bit by bit. Okay. Welcome, Janelli, to the live stream. Sorry, I was just pulling something up. Yeah, welcome to the live stream. No worries at all. We're only kind of starting. We've talked a bit about Superman and Lois. We're still not done because I'm going to scroll back up and read a few other things from the chat. So do you think that he got the superpowers because he touched a stone. No, I don't think he got the superpowers because he touched a stone. I think the reason Jordan had powers is he always had powers before, but it just kind of came up and it was sort of like suppressed within inside of him. Yeah. Welcome Araverse Scenes, and yes, Flashverse is a mod. I changed his ranking after last live stream. We need some help with the chat when it's getting fast, and Araverse and Flashverse is good. In Supergirl, who do you think will be the villain for Supergirl this season? I'm not entirely sure who the villain is going to be for Supergirl this season. I have like a few ideas, but I don't have anything concrete that I can like 100% say as of right now. So I think I'm going to hold off on that if that's okay. But yeah, thanks for the question. So Tim says, just watch your Superman breakdown, solid video. Thank you very much, Tim. I was confused by the whole the whole ending thing with Lex. Well, it's just he came from another Earth after Crisis, and he ended up here. That's what it is. Okay, so guys, we are being joined by PAGEY, who is going to be joining the stream right now. So welcome to PAGEY. Hello.
Thank you for welcoming me to said stream.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. Bringing some German into the equation. Brilliant. Mein Kopf tut weh. Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, welcome. So PAGEY is here, and whilst we're still on Superman and Lois, I know we talked about it yesterday, but general thoughts on it, favorite moments, what would you say?
Superman and Lois.
Yeah, Superman and Lois, the premiere. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it's probably I think I prefer the Flash premiere over Superman and Lois, but it's probably my second favorite. Like, I liked Arrow's, but Arrow then like deviated and was completely different from its premiere.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back and watch Arrow, like episode 2 is completely different from episode 1. But yeah, it's probably my second favorite, but like not by much. It's just that I prefer the Flash as a character over Superman, so that's probably just where it pips it.
Yeah, then that's exactly the same for me, because like I was saying that I love the Flash premiere more than Superman and Lois premiere, because I think I loved the Flash more, just generally. Like I liked him more before, and then obviously we have a kind of nostalgia factor with the Flash, I guess, because it's been on for a while. But I just think it's a very solid premiere. But yeah, anything else to do with? So what do you like in the Superman and Lois premiere? I know you like the classic Superman suit showing up, and a few different things like that, right?
Well, I just like the general feel of the show. It's not trying to like do what's been done before. Like, it is, as like I think they said in that Legacy of Hope thing, they are setting it in like post mythology, like stuff that isn't in the comics. So they're not necessarily straight up adapting their comics. They're doing their own thing while still paying respects to what's come before, which I think is the right way to do a lot of shows. Like, sometimes if you try and you see some show, not even just the DC shows. Well, I don't know. I could name one, but I don't want to trigger people. It's not Supergirl, so don't get worried. Actually, the fact that I just cancelled out Supergirl might be able to give people a hint as to what I'm talking about. But you try and set it in that universe, and then you sort of like starts with a T. But and then
I get it.
But like you try to do things and mixed in with the current state of what those characters are, and you just sort of like disrespect them. So I like what the Superman and Lois is doing. Obviously, it's only the first episode. Like I always don't judge a lot of things off the pilot, whether it's good or bad, because it's usually once you get to like an episode 5, 6, 7, that's where you should really be. You'll see what the show is. But seeing what they showed us, I'm looking forward to what's coming.
No, yeah, I completely agree. Like, I feel like you can kind of judge a show by like its pilot, but at the same time, you kind of have to wait. But I agree that they set it up like very well, I think, and it does
Like
feel different.
the only difference is that it's different than other pilots. Like the only one I can think of um is like is usually when you get like I guess the DC universe shows are now Superman and Lois, that usually they don't have to fit that network formula where they film their pilot, Jesus, like 5-6 months before they film the rest of the show or the rest of the
Yeah,
season. So they're not filming in February or March, and then they get picked up and they go back to film episode 2 in like July or something like that. They
yeah,
just went episode 1 and they went straight to episode 2. Like the same
that's
director
true.
and cinematographer are doing episode 1 and 2. So it's different. So like it sort of gives me like, due to that, it makes me think, oh, maybe it's like something like Stargirl, where
Yeah,
Stargirl, it didn't feel going from episode 1 to 2. It just sort of carried on and stayed that consistent.
yeah. No, I agree, and I mentioned this yesterday in the after party, but I really feel like Stargirl was the first show to kind of set a precedent for something like Superman and Lois coming. I don't know if you agree, but I feel like it was the next step away from just normal CW.
Yeah, like I think it just, I mean, like I'm excited to see what like Naomi's like,
Yeah,
because um like that will really spell what they plan to do going forward. Because from everything like that's being like thrown around and that I've heard myself, and it seems like they like the CW is like everyone's like, oh, they get like the CW, they won't be making shows there anymore. But like from what everything I know, they still plan to do that for a while, and that's why Warner Media wants to buy them out. That's why they want to buy out and control the CW. They don't want to be sharing with CBS, which seems
yeah,
even more likely, saying that after that Paramount Plus thing, because Paramount Plus is what CBS is. That was CBS All Access.
all
So,
right,
like I don't know if they already have the CBS channel, so I don't know if they want another channel there. So, um, everything that's sort of been thrown around is that like CW, or the CW, let's call it its official name, is going to be like the home of young adult slash family oriented content, which includes like Superman, Lois, and everything we already have on there, Naomi and
yeah,
stuff like that. And HBO Max is the more overly expensive slash edgy content.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Titans is in the right place, but I've only been here for 5 minutes. I've already slagged Titans
And
twice.
you're
But anyway,
ready.
um, but yeah, like I'm intrigued to see what shows get announced next. Like that's the only thing that makes me sort of annoyed that Wonder Girl didn't get announced. I don't know if where did that rumor start that like Wonder Girl was meant to film in
Brazil.
Brazil.
I'm
Like
not
where did
sure
that
where
come
it
from?
started, but
Because
I
it
don't
makes
think
sense, I guess, if they want to do it. Because I was wondering where the hell they're going to film that show. Like where was it going to be set? Like because I don't think there's anywhere in America where you can really replicate Brazil.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they would just have to set it in America. I
Like you
don't
can
know.
replicate a lot of different countries, but I don't know, like Brazil's sort of like unique.
Yeah, it is a bit unique. I don't know, but I wish Wonder Girl went forward, but you know, it's a shame. But oh
Well,
well.
I think that it will sit there in development. Like that's usually like
Yeah,
some shows just sit there. Like that Lobo show from Krypton's still sitting there in development. And if someone wants to go pick it up, they can, but I don't think
yeah, that's
anyone
true.
will. But Wonder Girl is something that
Yeah,
I can see someone having another stab at.
yeah, um, yeah. I could totally see it coming soon. So we just have a few questions that I wanted to pull up. What was it? Oh, anyway. All right. So I wanted to mention. So John Wesley Shipp saw that he finished filming. So he's filmed. If you guys didn't know, John Wesley Shipp, Jay Garrick. It was announced recently that he was going to be returning to the Arrowverse, but in Stargirl rather than the Flash. So it's like a little mini crossover, and it's going to be a flashback episode that would introduce him, I think, in the past with the JSA. So yeah, he finished filming. Any thoughts on Jay showing up on Stargirl?
I'm looking forward to it. Like he was only in Atlanta for like 5 days or something, but like that's a lot of time. Like I think Stargirl has like a 13-day, it's like 12 or 13-day production time for episodes. So he's there for about at least a third of it, roughly. So I'm interested to see how much he's in it. Like we already saw some set photos where we know Joel McHale's back as Starman, and like OG Owlman, OG Wildcat, apparently OG Dr. Midnight, they're in there. I just want to know if Alan Scott Green Lantern is going to show up, because that promo confirmed that it's his daughter that's in season 2. So, because it's someone stealing the Green Lantern battery, so, and it's not going to be random Sally Simple that's taking it. So, I wonder if they'll confirm. Maybe they might try and keep that. Maybe they might try and. I do wonder if maybe they'll use the Alan Scott from the Green Lantern HBO Max series in Stargirl.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Or maybe they can't use him because of that. I don't know. Because the rumor going around is that HBO Max series sort of ruined didn't ruin, but changed the ending of the Snyder Cut. So
yeah, so maybe it has some sort of control. But again, they can cross over with the HBO Max stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so I'm excited for it, and I wanted to bring up the Stargirl promo as well. Now you mentioned the Green Lantern thing. Kind of shocking that it came out of nowhere. Were you expecting anything like this? Because I wasn't when it came on.
No, it was a surprise, but I think the reason it's there is that's because it's going to be replacing Superman and Lois when that ends. It'll be taking up its time slot. I think, maybe. I don't know if it's the smartest idea, because Stargirl was at the 8 p.m., which is where the Flash is. But then again, maybe it's coming after Flash ends, because Flash would only end a couple of weeks after Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's like, a bunch of reshuffling. They announced that Legends is premiering in May, at the start of May. So that's going to be replacing something, I think. Actually, no, wait. I think
it's pushing back Batwoman to later in the day, and then it's moving like Charmed or something to another day.
Onto another night, yeah.
And I don't know what that means for Batwoman, but maybe that means Batwoman either gets very dark and needs to be in like the later time slots, allows them to use a bit more or something like that. I don't know, but a bit random.
Sure. Yeah, but we'll see how that all goes, and I'm sure Stargirl is probably going to premiere, and then after one of the other shows finish, maybe Supergirl will come back, because they said more than likely it's going to come back in the summer as well. So, and they said summer for Stargirl. So, are you presuming Stargirl's like June or something?
Well, you could argue that they might put Stargirl and Supergirl on the same night.
Yeah, it would make sense, I think.
I mean, they look like they want to be putting the 2 DC shows on the same night. So that's why they're putting Legends with Batwoman. So unless maybe Supergirl starts when Superman and Lois... Actually, that actually makes more sense, because Supergirl has more episodes. So maybe when Superman and Lois ends, Supergirl starts. So Flash and Supergirl will share a night for a few weeks. And then when Flash ends, Stargirl starts on the earlier time slot. So you have Stargirl that leads into into Supergirl. And then like Stargirl would maybe end like a couple of weeks before Supergirl would end.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Rather than Stargirl being at the later time slot, because Stargirl doesn't need to be at the later time slot.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I'm losing track of my thoughts. Okay, so Paige sends in a super chat. Let's go up and read this. So this is actually Titans related. Is Wonder Girl coming back on Titans, Ben? Didn't she die or something? I didn't watch the ending of Titans. Did you watch it?
Of season 2?
Yeah. Didn't Wonder Girl
die? Unfortunately, I watched it, yeah.
But apparently
she got electrocuted.
Yeah, and apparently the actor is filming on season 3 though. So
yeah, I think she comes back like middle of the season or something. So #revived.
#revived. It does look like she's coming back. I'm gonna be
Well,
honest.
they take her body back to Themyscira.
Oh, they
So I'm
do.
assuming that they revive her body in Themyscira. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I need to catch up, and I know you don't like it, but I like season 1. If I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was pretty
Oh
good.
no,
But
I
then,
like season 1 of Titans. Like it's not amazing, but it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10. But season 2
Mhm.
is
You hate it.
I don't know if I'd hate it, but I hate how much it disappointed me. If that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like there's still good parts in it. Like the Superboy episode of Titans is one of the better episodes of just DC television. But it was literally just about Superboy. It didn't involve the core cast, which is a worry. And then there's maybe
Mhm.
like 2 okay episodes after other than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I hate how much season 2 disappointed me. Like I think I'd give it like a 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I think it's Arrow season 4 level
Really.
in regards to
Fully fair.
disappointment. Like they need an Arrow season 5, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
a season that redeems the show.
Yeah. It completely redeemed Arrow.
Yeah, and so like if they don't do it, then I don't know.
Yeah, I
Bit of a
don't know.
worry.
I guess they're in a tricky situation. So in the games, in the chat says, Ben, when do you think they'll announce premiere dates for Stargirl and Supergirl? Well, I'm thinking, considering that they dropped that Stargirl promo, just completely out of the blue, I'm guessing they might do a Supergirl one soon. I don't know if it's going to be that soon, but like surely at some point. But in terms of announcing a specific date, do you know when they normally set their summer release dates? Do you know, like a month ish?
Um. Oh, which usually like they sort of gave them early. Like we could get them in like in March sometime. Like they either reveal stuff like late February, which they did, or sometime in March.
Yeah,
Um. But it's weird how they just wouldn't give you a release date for. Maybe they don't know. That's why I think both Supergirl and Stargirl are going to be on Tuesday nights in America where Flash and Superman and Lois are, because they
yeah,
themselves probably aren't 100% sure if they're going to have to take a break on 1 week with Flash and Superman and Lois, or they don't know if the Flash is, which will be a worry because I think Flash is like on episode 10 or something now. They
yeah.
wouldn't know when Flash is ending specifically, because there was
Hmm.
that talk that they might drop some episodes. I don't think they will. I think they would have known by now if they're going to. But maybe they don't know if there's going to be like a week break. So they don't want to say, oh, yeah, Stargirl's back June 15th or something like that. Or Supergirl's back June
Yeah,
15th. And then they have to chuck it what they did with The Flash and keep pushing the date back. They probably don't want
yeah.
to make that thing and then have to re-promote and make new posters and new trailers to put the dates in and everything like that, which they had to with
Hmm.
Flash.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that might be one of the main reasons. I mean, I'm expecting them, like you said, to announce it sometime in March or something because, well, the spring shows. Do many of them come out? Most of them come out in May, right? So I feel like it would be pretty soon
Yeah, I think
after
all those
because
shows
it's
are like
June.
they gave release dates for end of May or beginning of June or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty soon after. I think the middle of June is when summer starts. I'm not sure if this CW has like specific time slots to start, summer shows, or I don't know how it works really in the summer because I just remember last year, because normally the DCTV shows aren't on in the summer, and like Stargirl was one of the first ones, I think, to
Well,
properly come
Supergirl
back.
was. Remember that season when Kreisberg left and
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
had to
yeah.
rewrite the end of the season? Yeah,
They
that was
took like
on. That was on until like August or something.
that
Oh
was
no, it was
true.
on. I think they ended just before it ended airing just before Comic Con that year.
Yeah. So
Because it was weird.
July.
They ended and then all of a sudden there was a trailer for the next season or something.
Yeah, yeah, I remember now. That was like a really odd season. I don't know because it was like it was like really solid, and then they kind of just they had to break because of this Kreisberg stuff, and then like there was such a long break, and it was weird. But anyway,
And then they couldn't use any of his ideas, so they had to rewrite. They couldn't use any of
yeah,
his plot outline. I don't know what even the legalities around that was. I don't know why they couldn't use that. I'm still confused to this day why they couldn't use his plot outline.
yeah. I don't know.
Like anyway, but that was
Yeah,
random.
anyway, I don't know. So Gary has shown up. Welcome to the live stream, Gary. Gary sends in a 1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Gary says, how did Superman kids not know that their dad was Superman? Well, I mean, it's superheroes. Literally, I think, as he took the glasses off in the premiere, I was like, if they say, "Oh my God, you're Superman," like I was expecting them to like freak out when he took off the glasses, because I feel like that's a kind of superhero CW thing to do. But I think they're just, obviously it's very, for us as viewers, because we know that he's Superman, like it's super obvious and you're like, oh, whatever. But I guess if you don't look close enough, it's possible. But yeah, I don't know the actual reason. It's mainly just to dramatize things. What do you think, Paigey?
Well, I think it's pretty like simple. It's just that like you just wouldn't think it. Like they haven't been
Yeah,
like 2 meters away. They haven't been 1 meter, 2 meters away from Superman, looking him in the eyes. Like if Superman shows
true.
up, you're probably looking at like his suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and also people look different. Like the stereo, like the whole like cliche with the glasses thing. It's true. It's true. Like people look different with glasses, even if it's just like the way
Yeah,
their eyes look. People look different with glasses.
yeah.
So it's I
Yeah,
would
no,
have thought
I
it was like
think
I would
it's
have rolled my eyes if it was like, oh, you're Superman if you took off the glasses, but like they were like, oh, you are Superman when he lifted the truck and
when,
flew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just expecting maybe, like, because they specifically had a shot where he was taking the glasses off. I was like kind of waiting for it, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Um, but yeah. So thanks for the super chat, Gary. And thanks for tuning in. In the games in the chat says, Ben, is it true that these seasons of the DCTV shows will go to HBO Max and not Netflix? Isn't it the deal that the new shows like Superman, Lois, and Batwoman go to HBO Max, right?
Yeah, so every new show, well, like at least if we're talking about the Arrowverse stuff, like every new show after Batwoman that's made goes to
Yeah.
HBO. So that's Batwoman, Superman, Stargirl, Naomi,
Mm,
Painkiller if it gets picked up. I think they said that like there's in a few years, like you'll probably see the Flash and Arrow and stuff go to HBO Max, but I
right.
don't know how long the rest of that deal is with Netflix, how long they have the rights to, because Netflix paid a lot of money for it. It was like $1 billion or something like that.
$1
So they
billion.
definitely they want to get their time from it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess that's going to happen pretty soon. But yeah, all the new shows since Batwoman, they are going to HBO Max. So if you're in America, or, if it's ever expanded, that's where you can watch it. Okay, so we got two super chats. One from Paige. Paige says, "But your dad, come on." Yeah, I mean, I think that is the thing. Like, also, it's your dad's, but at the same time, you did have a very good point that like you're not face to face with Superman, even though we as viewers are, like, we're always watching him. So like we're kind of privileged in that way. But they're not, because really, if you see Superman, like Paige said, it's like you're looking at his like crest, or you're looking at his cape or his costume, and he's probably flying around in the sky. You're not going to be able to see, like, you can barely see someone at the far end of a road, nevertheless, like looking up into the freaking sky, so it's very rare that Superman would come right next to them. So maybe they do mention that they've seen him before, but that doesn't mean that they were standing right next to him. So yeah, I think, yes, your dad, you should kind of know, but yeah, I don't know. That is just a whole other thing. But yeah, thank you for the super chat page, and good question though. Gary Gammon sends in another super chat, and he says, "Do you think we will? Do you think they will discover the multiverse in the new season of The Flash? Pagey, multiverse on The Flash?"
Um, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It
Yeah,
depends because they could tie in Jay Garrick being on Stargirl with the Flash. You know, maybe he goes on Stargirl later in the season, or maybe he's on the Flash and it ties up with him going I don't know. I wouldn't say yes because the villains don't necessarily yell multiverse.
But what about like Godspeed? Like, what happens if he's from another Earth? I don't know
I
if
think
he's.
I think they'll just make it that he's from either the future or present day, and just Crisis
Yeah.
either just set that up. But the only thing I can think of is that they could make it that like Barry getting all these like speed thinking and stuff allows him to see the multiverse
Yeah.
without
Could
actually having
be.
to travel it. But I don't know. I don't think they'd be in necessarily a rush because I don't know what the point would be, if that makes sense. I would like it if they did, but I don't see the reason for them to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's like an immediate reason, unless, like you said, like there was a villain. But I don't think Godspeed is going to be from, within the multiverse. I'm pretty sure, like you said, he's either from the future or the present somewhere. I kind of get the impression that Godspeed is from the future. That's just.
Wait, hold on. Are you
Mhm.
assuming Godspeed's gender live on stream?
I'm assuming that
Eric Wallace would not confirm whether he
would it?
well I was gonna call that whether they were a he or a she.
That's true.
So
No,
expect a
I'm just
theory
talking about the
video
clones
from
because all the
Benjamin
clones have
Rolfe
been.
tomorrow.
No, all the clones have
Wait, are
been
you
made.
confirming Iris West is Godspeed? Are you
Maybe.
confirming that live on stream, Ben?
I'm confirming
Interesting.
hashtag Iris West is Godspeed. It is happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Iris West is Godspeed. That is it. All right. Bye, guys. Okay. All right. So let's move on to The Flash. So all of you guys, let us know. Are you excited for The Flash this next week? Sorry. So on Tuesday. So we're very freaking close to it, and I'm really excited. What are you most excited for? Just the show being back, or is there anything specific?
Or maybe just see how they resolve that Speed Force thing, because I'm just curious whether they're actually doing. Because I don't really like the idea of them doing the new Speed Force. I'd rather them just fix the old one.
Yeah.
And the closer we get, the more I think they're going to do that. But I don't want to be disappointed at the same time. So
Yeah.
I just want them to get through this, like what they were meant to do at the end of last season, because it just does like I was intrigued by the Mirror Master stuff, and I want to see how they conclude in the Mirrorverse and everything like that. But it's just such a long wait. Like we think they're waiting, like they have like a week's break and there's a cliffhanger. Like, oh my god, I have to wait 2 weeks to see how they fix that. We had to wait 10 months. It's 10 months, pretty much. So I just want to see how they wrap up, or continue on, and then wrap up that, and then move on to graphic novel number 3, if you want to call it, for Eric Wallace's plan, seeing what they do there.
Yeah, I just want to get out of the way. Like, I feel like I can't imagine like what's gonna come next. Obviously, we know Godspeed's gonna happen, and there's a few different things we know, but we just need to get past those 3 episodes. And some of them, I don't know if it would have worked, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe air it back to back, but oh well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to The Flash, mainly because I'm just excited to have the show back, because it's been like you said, like 10 months or something. It's been a long wait, and at least we got a trailer recently. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't released like a tiny promo. I'm supposing like on the weekend they're gonna drop something like a sneak peek. Would you say?
Oh, they might release a sneak peek like the morning of the episode or the day before, but
yeah.
What they show, I'm not surprised. I expected them to play the exact same promo during Superman and Lois, because we got that like minute and a half, 2-minute one at Fandom, which was all episode 1, and then they released another one which had more episode 1 footage as well. So I was like, well, they may as well just release episode 1 early. Like they may as well just release episode 1 early. They're going to release another promo with new material. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm not surprised they just re-showed it, which I think is fine.
Wait, so you think all the footage is from episode 1 in that last trailer?
The Fandom trailer, yeah, obviously, because they didn't start filming yet. But I think that the new one. Second one, there was a couple of shots that we know of from episode 2 because it's set photos. I think a good amount of them were episode 1.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see when we get to the episode. But Gary sends in another super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. He says, is Lex Luthor staying on Supergirl this season? And he's his favorite Supergirl villain. So I believe Lex is going to be showing up like for at least a couple of episodes, because the way they ended last season, Lex was doing something with his mum. He sort of had a plan because he had the kind of immortality thing that he took from the Leviathan members. So I presume that's going to happen at the start, although I think it's been cut short due to the pandemic, and I think John Cryer hasn't been in Vancouver, so he's not going to be around much unless he comes back later on in the season. But he was supposed to die last season, so I don't know if they're going to go ahead with that or not. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting having two Lexes on at the same time. I know they're not the same show, but yeah, I'm looking forward to what's happening, especially on Superman Lois with Lex. Do you think there's anything more to it, or do you think it is simply he's a displaced version of Lex who got displaced because of Crisis? Do you think it's pretty much that?
I don't know. I don't think it'd be that simple. They might try and add something to it because he has a ship,
yeah.
so he definitely wasn't displaced.
Yeah, so maybe
like
he traveled or he escaped.
Yeah, like I think he traveled to safety, or he traveled to some sort of like maybe he traveled to the Phantom Zone to like randomly just sit there for a bit or something along those lines. But I don't think it's like, yeah, he definitely wasn't displaced like Beth was in like that weird alternate Beth in Batwoman. I think that'd do something interesting. Like they did say we're going to learn his backstory and exactly why he's doing what he's doing. So just to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. And no, but that is interesting because like when I was watching the episode, I didn't initially kind of crack the idea that he had a spaceship, and now that you said it yesterday and just now again, you remind me that like it's true. Like if he was just fucking displaced and like he flew because of Crisis and crashed into this Earth or something, like he wouldn't have a spaceship. So you're right, he's definitely somehow got here, even whether he escaped or he decided to come over. It seems like something caused him to leave, and I think we'll get into that soon. Jamie sends in a super chat, and thank you very much for the support, Jamie. And Jamie says, do you think John Cryer will turn up on Superman Lois? What do you think, Paigey?
The way that Todd Helbing talks about it, no. I don't think I think John Cryer's, and I think we said this yesterday on the after party. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. That his Lex Luthor suits Supergirl's like tone.
Yeah.
If he came over to Superman Lois, he'd have to play a different Lex, and it'd just be like, well, you wouldn't show that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, why is he randomly different on this show than he was on Supergirl? I don't think it'd be the right thing. Yeah, just the way you hear Todd Helbing talk about it, it's just like, yeah, he's good on Supergirl. Let's talk about our Lex. That's pretty much like how he talk. If you look at the interviews and stuff like that, that's sort of how he words his stuff. So if he showed up on Superman Lois, I'd be very, very surprised.
Yeah, I would be very, very surprised. You're right. I think he is a different Lex for a different show. I think he's great on Supergirl. But you're right. I think he doesn't technically fit exactly what Superman and Lois is going for. So maybe it would be a bit weird, but I think Superman and Lois can easily cross over with the other heroes. But maybe not some of the villains per se. But that's just right now. We'll have to wait and see as Superman and Lois goes on.
Like there's only a couple of things I can see crossing over and actually being in a Superman and Lois episode, and that's probably the Flash, and Stargirl. I can't even see Batwoman now. Well, Supergirl won't.
I know, but
let's be honest.
If it did happen.
Well, Supergirl character, yeah. But even then, I don't know like what they would do with her.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like, I think because I think once Supergirl ends, you won't see Melissa Benoist come back unless they have a storyline where because she's going to leave the Earth.
Yeah.
at the end of the series. Like, so why would she come back and then, you know what I mean? So they'd have to like, I think it'd be very, very hard for it to be plausible that Supergirl even returns for Superman and Lois in a future season because she's going to leave the Earth. Because I know how they write her character off. That makes sense. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
like the Flash is like the main one, I think, and then you could maybe chuck into Stargirl.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would say maybe Stargirl over the Flash. That's just my thought, because I feel like the tone kind of fits. Yes, Stargirl has this high school thing going, but also Superman and Lois has that.
Or I don't mean the show, I just mean the character. Like just the
Okay.
character of the Flash. Yeah, it's just like Barry came over. And
Yeah.
like that would be easy because that like Grant could just adjust to that tone. Whatever they wanted to do.
No, yeah. I mean, I really want the crossovers, and to be honest, I feel like the best crossover matches, like obviously Arrow's had some great crossovers before, like with the Flash specifically, but I feel like for me the best crossover is because the shows are very similar in tone. I think the Flash and Supergirl are best. Like they're the obvious ones for me together, and so we'll have to wait and see if Superman and Lois gets like a perfect pick, but I think Stargirl is the closest. Paige in the chat says Superman and Lois is a different timeline, I think, because in the Arrowverse, his ship was not hidden in the barn; it was at the DEO. Ooh, so any thoughts on the alternate timeline, or are they just retconning it? I know they're retconning it, but still.
Well, I think there's an easy answer.
Yeah.
Crisis. Like that's like they like the whole show is like I think Greg Berlanti sort of referred to it in an interview. Like Crisis allowed them to do what they wanted to do with this show because they never in their wildest dreams thought they'd be able to get the rights to Superman. But because of the mess with the movies and Henry Cavill looks like he just doesn't want to do anything with the Superman at the moment, they were able to get the chance to do it. So now they can they did just sort of like randomly do stuff with Superman, not really plan it, just so they could just do little cool references within Supergirl. So like sort of have Superman without Superman in Supergirl, if that makes sense. So they'll retcon a lot of stuff. But even then, like they retconned like just the way certain things were done. Like he still proposes in the Fortress of Solitude, but it's in a different way. Obviously the kid was born and that proposal happened ages ago, like 15 years ago. Like it's like they just retcon a lot of stuff, so things happen much earlier. Like I did see people wonder. I know if you saw this because obviously you're tapped into the Supergirl stuff. Did you see people complaining? It's like, why wasn't Kara at the wedding?
No, I didn't see that. But it just seemed like small.
Kara would have been like Kara would have been like 14 years old living in Midvale.
Yeah, that's true.
And it wouldn't have been the most undercover sleuth thing to have her show up at the wedding. It's like, who are you? It's like, oh, I'm just a mystery person. I won't tell you my name. Like, it really wouldn't have made sense.
No, it wouldn't have made sense. But what was it? Oh yeah, I was just thinking about this. So the Fortress of Solitude, obviously in Supergirl, they go there a lot. Do you think that this season they're gonna go there on Supergirl and they're gonna go there on like Superman and Lois, and like how they're gonna explain it? I think they'll just ignore it, right?
Yeah, they might not show the outside of it. They might just show them showing up within it.
Yeah. Do you think they'll use the same set that Supergirl uses?
Probably not, but then again, they might not. They might just avoid using the Fortress of Solitude just because of that. Because there'd be some sort of like, if you're going to use very similar things, I think they'd try and avoid like looking the same. But sorry, using the same thing as them looking so different. But I don't know. That's sort of like a wait and see.
Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But thank you for the super chat, Willie, who sends in the $1. Thank you for the support for the channel. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? So we are at the 54-minute mark, and we're going to run over to just over an hour. So get sending in your last questions either via super chat or just via the chat, and we'll get to those as we head towards the end of the stream. I'm gonna pick out a few questions that we're gonna answer, and yeah. Okay, so Ben, where'd you resend it? Okay, would you rather be the Flash for a day or Superman? Dark Shadow says, I'd rather be the Flash so I can just run around on everywhere. PAGEY, Superman or the Flash for a day?
Probably Superman, as long as there was no kryptonite around.
Yeah, I guess not. Superman in a normal world without kryptonite. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just like to run around anyway. Do you think it's good that the Flash season 7 is coming out in March 4th on Netflix? Is it coming out March 4th that soon on Netflix?
I think in Canada they get it the day after it airs the episodes or something like that. They must be in Canada, maybe.
Yeah,
I think Canada gets it. Like that's where it airs in Canada.
I didn't know it came out on Netflix the next day. That's kind of mad. I thought up in Canada they have a showcase. What's it? There's always like there is this network, I think, in Canada that shows it, but
no, Canada's got some weird thing where like one show will air on one station, then there's no like it's not like one station where all of them air. They all air on different things. Like in Australia, all the Arabesque stuff airs on one channel, but I know in Canada it's like all over the place.
I'm looking it up because I swear to God, Supergirl in Canada, yeah, it plays on Showcase. Supergirl does.
Yeah, but Flash is on Netflix. That's what I mean. They're all over the place. There's one airs Showcase, one airs like CTV or whatever it's called, one airs Netflix.
Yeah, because I always see CTV Showcase.
Is that when you illegally download the shows, man?
No, that's not when I download.
Oh yeah.
No. That's when people.
You managed to expose yourself on every stream. It's very surprising.
No comment. I didn't say anything. Okay. I hope a Supergirl does appear in Superman Lois. Though, is the newly cast girl in the Flash film. I mean, there may be some crossovers. Maybe in the Supergirl film, Melissa could show up if she is around for like a day, and if they're shooting in LA, I guess she could show up. In the Flash film, what are we saying about like Grant showing up? Do you think there is any chance? I know they're filming very soon, so.
Oh, they'd be pushing for Grant to show up. The issue is now he's filming that Netflix movie in between season 7 and 8. So I don't know.
What film?
Oh, it's just some Netflix film. I saw it on what was it called? I saw it on Twitter before. He's filming it, and he's put it on Instagram that he's filming it in between season 7 and 8. Here we go. It's called Rescued by Ruby. It's a real life drama. What's real?
Wow.
Who's in it? He plays a state trooper. Say who he's. Who else is in it? Doesn't say. I think he's the main star. I think he's the lead of it. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's just been announced. So I don't know if there's any other. What do you call it? Actors attached at the moment, but it's written by someone. Someone's written the movie, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's going to be busy, and I don't think that there's going to be that much of a break between the seasons, so he's going to be busy with this Netflix thing as well. So I don't know if they're going to be able to slot him in. Do you know where the Flash is filming? They're filming in England, right?
Yeah, but they'll probably do pickups and stuff in LA. That's usually where they'll do the pickups and reshoots.
So maybe they might try and get him in LA. I don't think he's going to come all the way to England.
Yeah, especially at the moment. But then the Flash, the Flash is scheduled to come out in November next year, but Aquaman's set to come out a month later in December. And Aquaman, the first one, came out in December of 2018 or whatever it was, and it made $1 billion. So they won't be too likely to move Aquaman unless they need to. Like it won't be able to come out in time. So I can see the Flash being moved to like March 2023. So they've got ages of
Oh my
time
god. Yeah.
to put that movie together. So, or they could move it ahead. I don't know, but it'd be very surprising if Grant wasn't in the Flash movie, especially because frickin' Andy Muschietti followed him and Tom Cavanaugh on Instagram, where anyone that's usually a sign. Yeah,
that's cool. No, I would totally be down. Like that, I'm really rooting for that. Like even if it's just like a tiny cameo role, like I think it will be very fitting, and that's why I'm rooting for Melissa to show up. Like if they do a Supergirl film, just as like an acknowledgement. But also it'd be cool if they like did a kind of Flash family thing, or because it is Flashpoint after all, right? So they can totally bring Grant in as the Flash for a tiny bit.
Yeah. Like it's all multiverse. Like Supergirl's from another Earth. Michael Keaton's Batman is like coming in as the main one. Is from another Earth. So, like, it wouldn't surprise me too much if like maybe like a 20-minute period of him is him like multiverse hopping.
Yeah,
and that's why then he picks up Supergirl, and Supergirl maybe comes with him to help or something like that.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah. So we've just gone over the hour mark. So last couple of questions, guys. Send them in the chat, and we will try and answer those before we head to the end of the stream. Chosen Vader says, "Do you think Red Death will appear in season 7 of The Flash?" No, I don't think he's going to show up. We've been theorizing about this for a long time, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Do you think it's ever going to happen?
Not really. Like pretty much whenever I've talked about it, like I've just said, like if they're doing it, it's not going to be what the one in the comics is. They're going to change it up because it's obviously not going to be an old Bruce Wayne. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like I wouldn't expect it. I think that was more maybe like just an Easter egg reference thing, but maybe I don't know. Like they've still got better villains they can use than Red Death because Red Death isn't overly interesting.
Yeah, and there's not that much compared to a lot of villains. But again, they are using like some new characters, and it'll be interesting to see like, are they going to introduce any new like good speedsters or anything at some point? Because it's been a while. The last one was Nora. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll find out more soon to do with The Flash season 7. Anyway, remember, guys, The Flash season 7 comes out next week. Very excited to be covering it once again. Obviously, PAGEY is going to be covering it, and we're sure to cover it all on the live streams. But for now, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thanks, PAGEY, for joining. And go check out our recent videos, Superman, Lois. If you haven't watched any of the reviews, go check out the reviews on PAGEY's channel and mine. And Eric did a cool one. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and catch you guys later.